Hello my crafty friends, it's Krista here from Second Chance Creation. I hope you're all well, and it's getting pretty close to the festive season, so I believe everybody is pretty busy, just like me on my end. But I wanted to do a project share. I've made another journal, as I've sold a few of my horses on the market last weekend, and I'd like to do another market this weekend before we head away. So I've made this journal, and it's called Garden Melodies. And we all know that when we sit in the garden, it's like a melody because of all the birds chirping, tweeting, singing. I find that here in our hometown in springtime is just unbelievable. Not so much now because it gets, close to 40 degrees, so there's not too many birds around. Now, I've made this lovely journal, and the size of this is, should have measured that, 8 by 5.5, and this is made from the cover is made from a stationery pack. And the stationery packs that you have your papers, envelopes and cards in. And I got this from a op shop, and it was like 20 cents, had a few pages in it, and some envelopes, as you'll see throughout. So I grabbed it because I just love the actual cover. So that's what I made it from. And I, really glued and had some really beautiful cardstock. It's all in my stash, just all scraps that I've used. Had some paper, A4 paper scrap, and this colour just blended in so nicely with the front. So I used it as well. And that's just mainly to hide the advertising and writing that's usually on the back. First time I've used eyelets for closures, and I was tickle pink with that one as well. I made an organza tie, and I've popped on some beads just there, some pretty beads. So, once it gets really big, you've got enough room to tie it up with. I've used 4 charms throughout, and they represent the signature pages. And as you'll see, the cover, the stationery pack folder, already came like this and had all these papers put on one side and envelopes on the other side. And these are the papers that were still left in it. And there's 3, I've got about 6, so I've put 3 in the front and 3 at the back. Had some pretty little bird and on a twine sort of ribbon, so I've used that on there. I've got 4 signatures, 20 pages in each, so you've got like 40 pages, which equates to 80, and and then you've got your envelopes and tags and tuck spots. The paper that I've used here is frangipani paper, and it's already had sort of like a nice brown tinge in it. So I'll go through it quickly because I won't have much time, the usual story. I don't have any bird charms, so I've just used what's sort of relevant in the garden. Lots of tuck spots. I had a pad, actually a sleeve with A4 paper in it and all this beautiful writing paper. And on the back of the pad actually had this cardboard that represented all the pages that were in this pack. And of course it was, from op shop, a lot of them were missing. But I cut these out, little squares, because I could use them as tuck spots. Sorry, ladies, as tuck spots. I thought that was pretty cool. This is from a vintage gardening magazine. I've sewed on some paper on there that I had left over, just from a magazine. I've used some feathers throughout as well. I had some in my stash, and it sort of looks speckled. I thought it'd be nice to coincide with the owl. Doily, an envelope I made in tuck spot, and this is one of the envelopes from the stationery set that I had. Various pages. I made a tag with the finches, put some writing paper on it. This was already stressed because I haven't stressed any of these pages. I didn't feel it warranted in this journal. And I made a paperclip banner to hold it. And on the back it'll hold another tag and another cutout of the A4 pack that I got from the op shop. Coffee stained papers throughout. Here I've made a little envelope flip, and also you can use this as a tuck spot as well, just here. In here I've got some pretty writing paper. On the back another tuck spot, and I've used an old vintage playing card and just tucked some paper that I had left over. This pretty stamp was on a letter from Greece, and I do believe that was from Aristi. Here I've made one of the envelopes as a flip out, and also I've got a little tuck spot here, and another little vintage journaling card I've popped in there. And on the back I've made a little tuck spot. This I've just cut off an envelope so you could journal, put a little secret message in there or something. This is from a gardening magazine, had some beautiful coloured pages, and I just make 1-inch strips and I use them for the edge of pages just for a bit of interest. Postage stamp book from Australia Post that I got hold of. I got a hold of about 2 or 3, and I cut out all these beautiful photos. This is a peacock. I don't have any peacock feathers, so I've popped that on there. Flamingo stamp just there. Another ledger paper. Lots of beautiful pages. Made an auto paper clip and popped on a journal card on there. A couple of tags. This one was gifted to me from one of the girls here, Junk Journal Group book under group, but I just can't remember the name. I'm sorry. If you see this and you say it was me, please let me know. Another one of those stamps, beautiful. And this is part of the A4 paper pack that I got from the op shop. So I just love this. I think it's so cool. That's the end of the signature. Popped in a little dragonfly charm. Oops, sorry ladies. Dragonfly charm just here. Yeah, so I've kept that really nice and plain. Love it. And this is beautiful, soft, vintage, just really narrow lace trim that I used on there. And of course another bulb pin. And this one has a little tree just there. And I used another one of those envelopes as a flip up with a little journal card in the middle. Larger paper doily. I had a stamp of a peacock, so I was thrilled when I found that. Here I've made a bit of a collage of the birds, again from the Post magazine. And this was gifted to me by Ruth Burr. Thank you, Ruth. And this was in her entry for my challenge. But look at this fantastic paper. Now, I cannot remember who it was from. One of the ladies, again, here from Junk Journals Down Under Group. Another one of those stamps. I've used these stamps throughout because they're so pretty. And I've had this painty paper as well. So I've made a little belly band out of it. And I had a little bit left over, popped it on the side, popped in an envelope and one of these beautiful feathers. I just thought it was just so cute. Some more pages, some more stamping, a die cut. When I found that, I was thrilled. Thank you. No more stamping, scrap paper, some more beautiful coloured pages, some more of this A4 paper pack that I scored. I decoupaged this on some music paper, and the middle of the signature I've closed, made another tuck spot. This is the magazine. Vintage gardening magazine, and I made a little notebook out of it, and this is what I've cut out of strips and put on the borders, as you'll see just here, just to finish it off. Doesn't that look cool? I think it's a great idea. Another of the vintage playing cards, made a little tuck spot, bit more paper, had another one of those beautiful feathers left over. Here I've made another tuck spot with some scrap paper that was gifted to me by the Junk Journal Down Under group. We had a scrap paper swap. Stamped bird. Here's some more of that beautiful A4. A die cut of a butterfly. And of course the cutouts of the back of that A4 paper pad that I had. And just did a bit of stamping. I made a little notebook here with some paper. Some more paper just there. Beautiful painted paper here. I can't remember. It might have been in my scrapbook swap, scrap paper swap. And I had this floating around in my drawer, so I've just stuck that on there, made a little flip out, and I popped in a little bright pink feather and popped in a little button. some more beautiful stuff. Here's some more beautiful butterfly. I made it into a tuck spot. Getting to the end. This was out of a magazine, sewed on some paper. This is another piece of the backing of the A4. And that's the end of the journal. And there's some more pages just at the end of the folder and some more of that pretty trim. So yeah, so just let me know what you think. I really enjoyed doing it. I'll probably do one more video, and that's it for me for 2018. So you know what you've got to do. Happy crafting. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.